Good day to you. Oh, it's a little early in the morning. Kind of woke up a little late today, so I'm kind of on the run. It's okay. Makes the day go by quick. A couple of notes here. I got some a really nice gentleman on YouTube the other day sent me a rather lengthy email. It was more like a book. Anyway, he had some suggestions. Some of them I felt were going to be very helpful, and some of them not so much, and that's fine. We've talked back and forth a little bit, and he basically did me a little favor, and he had some friends of his watch some of my videos, and he made a report card, I guess, for lack of a better word. He's in the videography industry, film videography, but he likes old radios, and so he had some of the friends in the office there rate my videos, and which is great. You know, I very seldom do people actually say what's on their mind. They usually watch what you've got and kind of scoot on. And basically, he did that so he could help me with my content a little bit. And they had some really great, helpful, little, quick, dirty suggestions. He said these are like the top, I don't know, 10 things you could do. And they don't really take any time. They're easy to take care of. It's stuff you've got around the house, which is stuff you like to do. Some of the comments I got from his coworkers were funny. They were a rather mixed bag of nuts. Some of them were quite critical, and he told me in a nutshell to take those with a grain of salt, because I didn't. They're used to working with multi-million-dollar pieces of equipment and spending 2 days to get one shot worked out. And some of the other folks were quite complimentary and said don't change a thing at all. So basically what I did, and I ran this by him, I shot down the middle. I took a little bit of both, and like I said, he suggested, take some of the ones that are easy to do. And so we're going to do that. Let's see what happens here. Some of the changes to my videos, I'm going to try and cut them down quite a bit. I've had a number of comments so that these get a little long-winded, and it's because I don't edit them. That's okay. Some of the things might seem a little more scripted or staged. That's fine. I don't care for that as much. Usually my videos are kind of over the shoulder. Literally, I go and get my camera and throw it up there and just start doing my thing and kind of just talk about it. And I really haven't had any complaints one way or the other about that, or comments, or I want to say positive feedback one way or another about that. He suggested making a little place to do that type of stuff. He said, since you seem to be moving inside, maybe you can spend some time and make a little area and put up a backdrop to kind of get rid of the cups and saucers and stuff. Most of my stuff I do in the kitchen. That's where I kind of have room to do work during the time there, and then I put all the stuff away at the end of the day. I have very limited space here, but we try and do the best you can. And I'm more of an outside person anyway. I really like the outdoors. There's a lot of stuff going on. Anyway, I've wasted some of your time. That's one of the other things I had a suggestion about, was to try and keep things confined to he suggested I break things up a little more. I have a tendency to kind of run some of my videos together or make one big long one. And that's okay. They were all good feedback. So probably what I'll do is I'll actually make this a separate video. So I'll, I guess, title this, upcoming changes or whatever. Not a big typer of words. I'm not a. Some people really like to sit and as you got folks that like to hear themselves talk, there are folks that like to see themselves type, and I'm not one of them, which is okay. Everybody's got their own gig. So anyway, we'll those are some of the things that you can expect to see. They're changing a little bit. I might reduce the number of videos. A lot of these are very spur of the moment. I dedicate a certain amount of time during the day to doing my hobbies, and some of my hobbies are my work, and some of the things are off the cuff. Something strikes my fancy. Yeah, I guess what I really need is one of the little action cams, and just get a helmet or helmet cams and just snap that baby on my head or shoulder and let the good times roll, and then paw through it at the end of the day. I really don't have time to babysit the camera. I try my best to keep things in focus and keep shots, and that's one of the comments I got is, you know, I need to. It's kind of interesting because for every positive comment there was a kind of a negative or neutral comment. So his office was kind of all over the board, which he found funny too. And he had explained to them that, you know, I'm just doing this and I have got limited resources, you know, and I've got a inexpensive camera with one battery and let the good times roll. You know, the gamut went from don't change a thing to never make another video to, you know, buy more equipment to, you know, get some lights, and on and on and on. And he went through with his it was really nice of him. He went through with his boss, and they weeded the stuff out. And I said, well, geez, you guys must have spent quite a bit of time. He said, no, we do this from time to time. We, you know, in addition, they also teach videography. And what they were going to use this for was they're going to use this as a teaching tool on, you know, things to do, things to avoid, things to not do. And that's great. That's kind of one of the thrusts of my channel, is to kind of help people and get them to learn some stuff and think about things in different ways. You know, I always see something on YouTube in a different angle or approach, and it's really changed how I think about things sometimes. And one of the rules I've kind of changed, and I constantly violate now, is don't be afraid to try something. I watched a video the other day where a gentleman was doing something, and it was the first thing out of my mouth, literally out loud, was, "Oh, that's not going to work." Well, guess what? It worked, and it worked well, and it surprised me, and it kind of flew in the face of logic, I guess, or standard practice. So I don't know, never hurts to try. It's kind of like in video games, you know, if you think something, the minute you think you shouldn't do something, that's probably what you ought to be trying to do. So those are some of the things that are going to change a little bit, and they're going to get back to me, and I don't know, I think he said a couple months, and I usually don't. He suggested I do all these things at the new year, and I have never done very well at New Year's resolutions, and so I've got another date that I use for resolutions, or, you know, a year has transpired and I'd like to see this and this and this, and I usually write those things down in a notebook or put them on a piece of paper, and then as dumb as it sounds, I usually tape them up on the bathroom mirror so that I can see them every day and say, yeah, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that. I've been procrastinating about doing that. Okie dokie. So there's what's potentially going to happen. I also had a lot of comments from the folks that said, you know, don't be afraid to show your face. You know, I just am not very photogenic, and a lot of the time some of these videos are done in the wee hours of the morning or the middle of the night, and I'm not going to get up and, you know, shave and comb my hair and stuff at 3 in the morning, only to maybe go back to bed if I get tired. It's an old habit I acquired years ago, where if I wake up, I don't try and fall back. I usually don't fall back asleep. I usually just am up. So I've learned that sitting in bed or whatever just doesn't work. So usually I get up and I do something, and it usually only takes a little time, and then I'm tired again. So that's what that's about. Anyway, thanks for listening, and tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and shut you off. If you have any questions or comments, as always, feel free to leave a comment. If you'd like to subscribe to this channel, that'd be great. And YouTube has had a few changes recently, so if you don't hear from me right away, don't feel left out. I'm still trying to collect my thoughts a little bit on how to deal with those issues. So without further ado, I'm going to shut you off, and we'll start over again here with what's the real subject here. Take it easy.